Thank you for tuning. Widen at 7. This is the replay. I'm Pasha Paro. So today we're going to be talking about the title. The title of the day is Non-Social Inhuman. That's the question. And I put says the cult, right? Let's dive into what that actually means. So you watched my previous video about respect, where we broke down the etymology of the word respect. Shout out to all the people that seen that one. If not, go ahead back and tune in and watch that one. And then think about what do you respect and why. Okay. Also, you might have seen the video I did on prior on support local. And in that video I was describing how local might not just be a physical location. Today, I'm going to dive a little deeper into give you something to think about with that. I ordered a new book. I'm really excited for it to come in called Power vs. Force by, I think it's Donald Hawkins. And in there, he's got this, I'm not going to say the book is centered around it, but there's like a chart, like a measure of consciousness. And it's kind of cool. It kind of looks something like this. This one's different, but I like this one for presentation purposes. It's got a little chart, a couple charts on the side, some color for your eyes, you know what I mean? So you can dial that in. We'll get into that in a moment. What I want to start with, right? I want to start with the word cult. See, when you go back to what the origin of the word cult is, what the vibration of the word cult is, it's worship or homage, and then later became a system of worship, right? So if you take a look at homage actually is allegiance or respect for one's feudal lord / a body of vessels owing allegiance. You know what I mean? So it's that a team, sports team, football team, football is a sport, work team, are we talking about a state? Are we talking about government? What do you identify as a body of vassals owing allegiance? And who do you think your feudal lord is, right? So what's worship? Worship is a condition of being worthy, a distinction, an honor. What are you renowned for, right? What's your condition of being worthy? You are not worthy, right? Somebody's always telling you that, right? In some way, shape, or form. You got people telling you what to read, what to wear, how to think, what you should eat. You know what I'm saying? Is that worship? Is that a form of worship? Are you paying homage? Is your job a cult? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make this real simple for you though. Let's check this out because I want to just. I've been thinking about this, ordered a book, and like I said, I'm really excited to get into it and reading it. I'm reading a couple other books at the same time too, so we'll do some more diving in and out of each one, especially once I get this new one. I can't wait to crack it open. You know me, I read about 4 books right now. Couple pages here, a chapter here on this one. Then I might pick up the next one a couple days, read in there. For me, it works because you really get time to, the way I see it, you really get time to absorb what you just read. Spend some time with that knowledge, and then when I jump around in books, it seems like every time I pick up that next book or read that next chapter or whatever, it's like the perfect time to receive that new information. I don't know, law of attraction at its finest, right? So what I'm gonna get at is, let's get back to this real quick. Um, let's take a look at this. See what what you got, and some of y'all are more familiar with this than others. Respect. So, like I said, the word respect means relate. Um, and when I say support local, you got to ask yourself, is local a physical place? Now let's look at this graph. Excuse me. Let's look at this chart. Right at the very bottom of the conscious tier, you got shame, guilt, you know, uh, despair, grief, fear. You know, this is does your job offer you motivation, or do they get you to keep coming in with fear of not being able to pay your rent or your mortgage? Um, above that, you're getting into desire, anger, pride. You see what I'm saying? So, are you angry at the situation? Do you have the courage to make a difference? Do you or um are you just gonna be neutral? You got these like sports fans, and they ask you who you pulling for tonight's game, and you tell them, well, I'm neutral. You see the look on their face when you tell them you're neutral, like, well, who's your favorite team? You gotta have a favorite team, right? Nah, not in the sports like that. That's like a practice of dividing us and keeping us conditioned to be divided so that we can be conquered easily. Oh man, you one of them people that want to just start busting off random trivia thinking you're all intellectual and shit. Well, you know, okay. So you got inner light wisdom. Now this is a little different from the one in Hawkins' book. I'll, me, I'll definitely have some posts about that coming up in the near future. So stay tuned for that. In the Hawkins chart, it stops at 700 and it's just labeled as enlightenment. Anything 700 or above is just enlightenment. But when you look at this, right? So you get up here to the inner wisdom, inner light, oneness, you know, and you're into self-realization. You see? So everything I'm looking at here, I can't wait to really read the book and get a much better understanding of this. But when I look at this stuff, right, the ones that operate down here in the bottom part, you know, they're telling you how you should be. Um, don't do this because we're afraid. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know what I mean? How dare you not be a sports fan and come in here talking about the world might be flat or round and ask us if we want to know how? You should be ashamed. Everybody else in here is talking about sports. What's wrong with you? Right? It's always a something's wrong with you for having a different outlook. Okay? And I'm not even picking on the people that are just sports fans. The people that are conscious, they had the same thing. You know what I mean? They kind of, because at the end of the day, like attracts like, right? So if you into uh energies and frequencies and vibrations, you're gonna probably be geared towards more people that are also into energy, frequency, and vibration, because y'all can vibe together. You can talk, you feel comfortable, because what all of these have in common, right? What each one of these layers have in common is they don't want to be bored. So see, people that operate on the vibration of shame, they gotta be stimulated by shame. If people who are feeling guilty, they gotta be stimulated by the presence of guilt. You know, fear. People that are afraid, they motivated by fear. Hey, look, this is what we got to do. Oh well, I know I said I don't like what's going on here, but I don't want to do nothing about it because um, uh, That's my supervisor. Fear, anger. When people are vibrating in the frequency of anger, they're entertained by other displays of anger. Courage, same thing. If you're tuned into courage, these are all like different radio stations. And you can tune into whichever one you want, right? This is based on what like I said, I know I know a little bit. I want to see what the book has to say, but this is just what I get when I look at this because everybody is competing for who's right. And I think when you get to the upper levels, right, when you get into self-realization, you shut all that outer world out. So then it frustrates them even more because everything they say you everything they try to influence you with, whether it's shame, guilt, despair, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, optimism, acceptance, everything they try to use to motivate you, it doesn't work because you're in here. You're in here with it. You see? So then the thing is that it's said that people want to fit in, right? But I think once you get in here with it, you no longer give a fuck about fitting in because you're in here with it. You see, anything you give out here is really to help the others. It's just to give others a chance, whatever that might be. You know, and then you might go back in here with it because you gave it out and you realize they didn't even know what to do with it. So I'm just gonna go back in here with it. Keep it vibing. So the cult or the herd mentality is going to say that you are antisocial. You must not be human because you don't want to fit in. So I just want to say to all my non-human MFers, big ups. Big ups for your self-respect, for your self-reflection, for your self-realization. Okay? Because you came through all these levels. You done went through all these vibrations. The people talking about you having a comment that might be intellectual, being boring, don't realize that you look at their conversation equally as boring. You look at them talking about ass and cars and shit as shit that we were doing in freaking middle school. It's the same conversation to us. So what the people have to realize is that if you're on a different frequency, you're always going to have some sort of conflict with the other frequencies. But that doesn't mean that you're any better than the next person, no matter if you're an intellectual or a sports trivia person. Because both parties could call the other person's knowledge trivia. Like attracts like. But at the end of the day, though, it's always the people that laughed and they always come back and say, hey, look, that stuff you was talking about, you're trying to tell me, what's up with that? I need to know that. But you might be in here with it by then. You know what I'm saying? So keep being inhuman. All right. Pasha Paro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning the replay.